All right, welcome back. My food's in the oven. It'll be done in an hour. Let's see if we can beat Clankers Cavern before then. So Clankers Cavern, as a child, this level scared the shit out of me. Just one new move to find this time, Banjo. Oh, there's a fancy way to land a jump there that you don't have to do all this. But Clankers Cavern scared the absolute hell out of me when I was a kid. And you guys will see why in a little bit. So this first area is more like a mini area. There's not really a lot in here, but we're gonna collect what is here. We're gonna move on to the main area after we grab some of these. Watch out for those guys, they'll eat your ass. Believe it or not, those guys are not what scared the hell out of me as a kid in this level. Let's try this again. Let's try this one more time. You jump and do the, oh, I guess I didn't show you guys the beak attack. So the beak attack and the flutter gets you further. The beak attack almost gets you as far as the flutter, but it also is an attack. You just jump and then push the attack button. Same as the roll button. I think I forgot to explain that during my move analysis, but it's definitely the move to use on those guys. Lucky you, I'm an invulnerability feather. Bottles will tell you more. So yeah, we're picking up gold feathers, and we might actually learn about gold feathers, or might actually find out what gold feathers do in this exact level. Oh, one thing to point out, although there are Jinjos in every level, although there are 2 honeycomb pieces in every level, etc., etc., there is not a Mumbo skull in every level. You guys might be wondering where that was. There's no Mumbo skull in Treasure Trove Cove, which is why we didn't transform there, and there is no Mumbo skull in this level, Clankers Cavern. Mumbo will make a return, though. He is in a lot of levels. He's just, not every level has their own Mumbo skull. Alright, so now you guys are about to find out why I was so afraid of this level when I was a kid. I am Clanker, the witch's garbage grinder. Clanker not like dirty water, want fresh air. So this big old shark bitch scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. Not to mention, I have to help this big scary freak. That's practically the first thing you have to do. You can do some other stuff, but helping Clanker is pretty much priority number 1 because helping him out opens half the level. And not only is he scary and you have to help him, but helping him is one of the scariest things you have to do in this game because you have to swim way down here, way into the water. The music gets creepy. You hear that shit, don't you? And you have to swim through this little key ring 3 times. And the only saving grace down here is Gloop. Freaking Gloop. He just coughs up air bubbles. But swimming through that key ring 3 times unleashes Clanker's chain or loosens it a little bit, whatever the hell it does, and it allows Clanker to float to the top. So even though he's still in the dirty water, he can go to the top for fresh air, and he's able to breathe a little bit better air. Clanker has fresh air. You find reward on Clanker's back. Marner, thank you for gifting the sub to Dustin. Appreciate that. Dustin, enjoy the sub, buddy. We're gonna use our buddy Gloop here to refill on air, and the worst part is that swimming through the 3 key rings swimming through the key ring 3 times is relatively easy, but there's also a bunch of notes and a Jinjo we gotta pick up along the floor here. Am I past it? Oh, I'm past it. I'm gonna get one more good air bubble out of this guy. There we go. So now, let's collect. My mom is actually really afraid of this part because she hates... I mean, I think she hates the idea of drowning in general, as most people probably should, but the idea of drowning in this game was never appealing to her. So she never liked to do this section on her own. She'd always call me in. I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, somewhere in there. She'd always call me in to do this section for her. All right, we're gonna be a little tight on air here. Can't see, camera! Oh, I missed the air bubble. I'm gonna blame the camera on that one. Grab a couple of these, and let's get the hell out of here. All right, did everything there is to do in there. Got the Jinjo, got the notes, did the key. All set. Martyr, I do appreciate you gifting a sub to Dustin, man. And you know what? I'm actually not going to surface. We're going to go right into another room. that has some more stuff for us to do in it. So that's basically it. We're in the overworld of Clanker. There is Clanker himself, who has stuff to do on him and actually inside of him, as it were. We'll figure that out in a little bit. And then there's also several pipes spanning off out of the main area that lead to things like this. Snippet mutants are we. Jigsaw is ours. Fight us, you must. So they got that Klungo accent going on. And we gotta fight a bunch of these crab dudes. Ground pound, probably the best technique here, if I do say so myself. And there's a few of these guys, but you know, just jump and ground and pound, and there's really nothing to these fights. Hiss, beaten snippet mutants are we. Yours is prize. If we killed them all, which one tells us that? Who knows? Hey, Nerf Cat. I see you're having fun with Spyro. Alright, so we killed them all, naturally, because that's what we do. We find people we don't like, and we murder them violently. You know? And that is our first Jiggy this level. We earned one with Clanker already, but we haven't picked it up yet, so that is technically our first Jiggy this level. Next, we're going to do something else that's pretty dangerous. This particular level really, really likes to play with how well your nerves are. How well your nerves can handle being underwater. Like this. So, they make this extra long pipe over here that I believe has a Jiggy at the end of it. Yep. However, it's blocked off, so you gotta go all the way back. Lowercase T shot. Dustin, I believe in you. And as you can see, it's a pretty tight squeeze. It's not that bad if you know what you're doing. And I came out of the other pipe. If you just like ground pound into the water from right here, you can probably still have 3 full bubbles left. So it's really not all that bad. But if you're kind of like struggling to swim, swimming in this game is not the easiest. There's a lot of things that I'm going to make look kind of easy that aren't, because like I said before, the controls in this game are a little bit loose. And they definitely take some adjustments compared to other games with a little bit more precise. That are a little bit more precise in their movement. So there's actually a pipe over here I want to get underneath. This pipe right here, because again, these bastards, they're really not dickheads in this game for the most part, except for with these honeycombs. These guys are with these empty honeycomb pieces, the ones that give you an extra bar of health. They are like, who would think to look in there? I don't think I ever found that as a kid. I'm not sure I ever found that, because I didn't like being underwater. But like, who would think to look in there? You thought I was flying? I thought you were playing Spyro on a flying level. Ugh, I missed my jump. Here we go. Let's get on one of Clanker's flippers here. Take this, take that dude out. Free life. 2 directions here. We can hop either way. We're going to go to the right first. Kind of doing all the stuff around Clanker for now. You don't need to come over here because there's really just... you don't need every Mumbo token in this game. So I said earlier we're 100%ing this game, meaning we're collecting everything that's important that we need to collect. There are actually more Mumbo tokens scattered around the worlds than you need to do every Mumbo token transformation. It's something to keep in mind. They put a couple Mumbo tokens in every level, but like I said earlier, Mumbo himself is not in every level. So... just something to keep in mind. If you see me miss a Mumbo token or anything, you can be like, oh, T-Shot, you're not doing 100%. You missed a Mumbo token. I know I missed a Mumbo token. That's okay. Oh, there was a free life in there. I didn't actually need to go down that one. Anyway, Mumbo tokens are not actually a part of the 100%. Technically. Because like I said, you don't need all of them. There's no point. Can you swim in the air? You can fly. You can fly in this game. Not in this level, but you can fly in this game. Let me go back over here because there's one more thing I missed, and I think this might be our energy bar, since this is the 3rd level we're on, and there's 2 empty honeycomb pieces per level, and we need 6 empty honeycomb pieces to get another energy bar. I believe if the last one's in here, that is 6, and there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 7. Now we have 7 energy hits. Pretty cool. Like I said, I don't need these. I don't plan on dying a lot. I don't plan on taking a lot of hits. I'm sure I'll die once or twice here and there, but that is part of the 100%, is getting every empty honeycomb piece. So here we are. Looking up some of the notes on Clanker's back. Clanker goes up and down, but the notes stay in the same place, so sometimes it's easier to collect than others. Give me the Jiggy! There we go. Buzz. Clanker's teeth hurt now. Eat too much garbage. Help Clanker. Alright, Clanker ate too much garbage. We're going to help him with his teeth here in a little bit from the sounds of things. For now, making that jump is kind of tricky, but pulled it off. Open up that, grab ourselves a Jiggy. And scattered some notes down here. I don't think I have a preference. Actually, I take that back. I definitely do have a preference. It's whatever. I was trying to think about what side I wanted to jump off of. We're going to jump off the left side here because that's the side I haven't been to yet. Kind of did everything there is to do over there. 65 notes. We've already got most of the notes. This level is not very big, but there's a lot to do in it. And that's the main difference between Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Tooie versus Banjo-Kazooie. And this is probably why Banjo-Kazooie is my favorite game ever. Because a lot of people see game stays and they're like, oh, a bigger game, you know. It's usually commonly perceived that a bigger game usually winds up being a better game, but if you're going to make a bigger game, you have to fill it with a bunch of stuff. Like Red Dead 2 is a really good example because it's a bigger game, but Red Dead 2 feels full, like really full. Like there's a lot going on. That's a living, breathing world, which is cool in its own right. But in the case of Banjo-Kazooie, the worlds are smaller compared to other games. It's a lot like, actually Spiral 1 was like this too. The worlds are smaller in Banjo-Kazooie, but there's a lot packed into them in a really good way, right? Now in Banjo-Tooie and in Donkey Kong 64, the worlds get a lot larger. In DK64, they just get more convoluted. But in Banjo-Tooie, the worlds get a lot larger, but there's still about the same amount of stuff to collect in them. So what it winds up doing... Toothache this side gone. Clanker swallowed reward. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. What winds up happening in Banjo-Tooie anyway, since the worlds are a lot bigger, but there's the same amount of stuff to collect, is it means that it takes longer to have the same amount of fun. Weird thing here, I guess I haven't been explaining it. I knocked Clanker's tooth out because that was his bad tooth, and I guess that makes him feel better. Clanker actually has 2 teeth to knock out, but this other one, I'll see if I can get you a look over here. That other one just leads to a Mumbo Skull, so you don't actually have to free his second tooth. He can just keep that tooth in pain forever. Because the only reward's a Mumbo Skull, and like I said, we don't really need every Mumbo token in the game. So I'm just going to skip out on that one, because why not? But now we're inside Clanker. We hop through his tooth hole, and we have entered Clanker. But yeah, Banjo-Tooie is more the same. There's still 100 notes in every world, and they actually clump the notes together. So there's not as many scattered out in its own way. 10 Jiggies per world, but the worlds are all a lot bigger, which means you have to do a lot more work and you have to go through a lot more stuff to get a single Jiggy. And it winds up meaning that, like I said, Banjo-Tooie has about the same amount of fun as Banjo-Kazooie does, but it's spread out over a much larger game and it takes you a much longer time to have that same amount of fun. Oh no, brother! Is this controller low on batteries? I have infinity batteries, so if it does die, it's not a big deal. By the way, we got to swim through all the green rings before the timer runs out. And as you can see, you know, every time I swim through a green ring, another blue ring turns green. So that's what's going on in here. It was kind of self-explanatory once you swim through the first ring, but yeah. I don't know if the battery pack is loose in this controller or if the batteries are actually dying. It doesn't look like the batteries are actually dying. But if that happens again, I could switch batteries out, no problem. I have a lot of batteries. So we got a Jiggy and we raised the water level for that. Now, this is hard for no reason, that jump is. The platform, as you can see, sort of, it's not straight up and down, it protrudes outwards near the top. So if you try to hug it, Banjo actually gets sort of stuck on the platform. A lot of the time. I don't know, I made it up that time. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong platform. Fuck me. Anyway. So we've sort of cleaned out Clanker's insides a little bit here. Got a couple different directions to explore. First one being this one, because this is the most unfortunate Jinjo placement of all time. The poor guy's underwater by a weird little tentacle hentai thing. And that is almost all the Jinjos, so we're about to get a Jiggy for that, probably, hopefully, who knows. Alright, remind me I gotta leave through the bottom Clanker hole. And that sounds weird when I say it out loud like that, but you guys will see what I mean in a little bit. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Not facing that direction, I didn't mean to. As you can see, there's this hole up here, but luckily for us... Oh, we do fly on this level. I forgot about that. Yeah, this is flying, Nerf Cat. We're not swimming above land or underwater. So we're supposed to have... Oh, wait, no, this is where we learn the move. Never mind. Everything's great. Learn the move. Talk to me, Bottles. This move uses Biko's wings as a shield against the bad guys. Cool. Does it make me invulnerable? Sure does. Hold the right or left trigger and push the right stick right. Keep the right or left trigger held and use the left stick to move around. Use it wisely, though, as this move requires gold feathers. You can only carry 10 of them. Here, take these 5 valuable gold feathers with you. And those are all the moves. We only need to learn the one move in this level. So we're supposed to use the gold feathers here to run through those without taking damage, but there is actually kind of a way to cheese this. If you run in this spot right here, I come out to collect the notes, but if you keep ducking over here, you can actually Keanu Reeves that and just dodge everyone like you're in the Matrix. You gotta hug this spot right here for some reason. This spot's normally pretty safe. I ran over there to get the note because I missed it earlier, but yeah, you guys get the idea. Arisu, Arisu.
I look like Banjo.
I look like Banjo. Shadow Dawn 7, thank you for the 5-month resub. Thank you for the pentakill. I appreciate it. The support you guys have thrown my way tonight at a midnight stream of my favorite game ever when I'm about to leave y'all for a week is phenomenal. And I greatly appreciate it. Ooh. How many times have I played this? So before I did speedruns of it, I probably played through this game at least once a year. I played through it a lot as a kid, but then even when I got older, I probably, ever since my mom got the Xbox, tried to play through this game at least once or twice a year. That was a weird jump. If you include the speedruns, I've got to be like in the 50s, maybe above. I'm leaving for a week. Well, I'm going to start the process of moving, and I won't be able to stream during the weekdays. So my next stream will be on the weekend, probably Saturday. Maybe I'll squeak out a mid-week stream like once. It's not a long one, but I don't plan on it. But I am going to be AFK, as it were, for a little while. Okay, so there's one more bit with Clanker we have to do here. I totally forget. I just went up here. There was a Jiggy up here? I just grabbed a Jiggy, right? I was looking at Twitch chat. I was talking. My mind completely blank. Yeah, there was a Jiggy in there. One more bit with Clanker. One area of Clanker we haven't explored yet other than, you know, his anus or genitals, and we don't want to go over there. If he even has them. He's a machine. Who knows? We haven't fallen into Clanker's hole yet. So here's an important grunny switch. And you can also use the gold feathers to get through here, but these saw blades are a lot more slow moving, like to the point to where you can almost dodge them. Unless you're a big idiot like me, I really should have used the gold feathers. It's actually lagging in that room when I took hits. You found all 100 notes in this world. Well done. And we're only one Jiggy short. And the really cool news is I have no fucking idea where that last Jiggy is. Oh god, this is my nightmare. We're down at Jinjo. Are we down at Jinjo? Where are you moving to? Really short version, Nerf Cat, closer to home. Some stuff happened that I need to be closer to home, so I'm going closer to home. Not a fun move. I'm moving to a much smaller place, but everything will work out in the end. Oh god, guys. Guys, I left a Jiggy somewhere. I don't know where it is.